'Cause we love our love in different sizes. I love her body, especially the lies. Time take its toll, but not on the eyes. Promise me this, take me tonight.
Hello and welcome to this week's Perfect 10 show, the show where we chat about what's trending in sport and give you at home the chance to win £10,000.
Woo! A lot of money.
That's a lot of wonga. We've got a bit of a second string panel here, I think, today. We've got JP on the show.
Hi, son.
How are you doing, JP? You've got quite the notepad ready. I'm expecting some good stats.
Do my homework, yeah.
And a trip to Alton Towers this weekend.
Yeah, it was poo.
Who?
I went on 2 roller coasters. It was, and the best ride was the car journey on the way home.
I thought you were working as one of the scaring people.
That
It
is
was very cold.
cold and not good. Right, Pete, let's move on to you. You're a regular here, regular first teamer. City, good win on Monday night. What did you make of that?
Yeah, well, we've gone to Liverpool, Arsenal, now Spurs, not conceded a goal, got 7 points from 9, so, you know, can't complain. Wasn't our best performance, but winning, so...
What about that pitch?
It's just fucking awful, isn't it? Like,
The
Spurs
logo,
should
the
be
mud.
fined, like, it's just disgraceful. You can't have a serious Premier League match between 2 of the top teams on a pitch like that. It's fucking shocking, so sort it out.
And are Laporte and Stones the best Premier League centre-back duo?
Easily. Fun fact for you, they were born one day apart, and every time they've played together, they've only conceded 1 goal.
Oh,
That
that is
that's
a
a good
great
fact.
stat.
That's a good fact.
Where's your notepad? That's a better stat than JP.
Oh, it's all up here, it's all up here.
And we've got a debut on the show. Producer Charlie's gone from behind the camera, and now he's on the show. Give him a round of applause, come on.
I finally afforded my wages and I'm here. I look forward to it, Simon.
Is this going to be a Jonathan Woodgate debut?
Potentially.
Potentially, we'll have to wait and find out. And our special guest for today's show, we finally got someone funny on the panel. It's massive Everton fan and comedian, Ant Campbell. I wasn't making a joke about it, right? Yeah. How you doing, Ant? Thanks for coming along.
No problem, guys. I got here eventually, didn't I? This is the 3rd time I think I've been asked to come on. So
Been hard trying to nail you down.
Really
I know.
been grovelling.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Sorry if I got you depressed, but
We got
it's
him.
good to be here.
We finally got him, and in honour of Ant being on the show, we're giving away this Everton shirt, which you can win by answering this question, which is, who is Everton's number 19? Is it A, Oumar Niasse, or B, Theo Walcott? 2 incredible Everton players there, aren't they?
Legends.
2 of the best.
Questionable haircut for Walcott, though.
Yeah, not great. Comment your answer in the comments down below, and we'll give away that shirt by revealing the answer at the end of the show. Right, let's crack on into the icebreaker. We've already got you a drink, and in exchange for that drink, which you've already got, we need your drunken story.
Well, I was having a little think about the drunken stories. I forget most of them, if I'm honest. I think the main one that sticks with me anyway. Once I got a taxi home from town in Liverpool, about 6 o'clock in the morning, and for some reason I just told the taxi driver to drive around the city for like 3.5 hours. I don't know why. And the taxi fare came to like £78. Got home at like 9:20 in the morning. It was absolutely ridiculous. And then I left my
that
phone.
taxi driver?
I know, and then I left my phone in his cab as well.
Pretty
Anyway, I think I left my head in there as well by the sounds of it.
Well, wasn't it?
Just went on a nice big tour, I think. Magical
You've
mystery
never gone
tour.
to see it before.
Are you sure you left your phone in there or did you have it?
No, we come back with it, to be fair to him. Well, how could he not have just
You
paid
paid
his mortgage, you know what I mean? So,
And we've actually forgotten the Wheel of Misfortune today, but I'm going to give you a shag, marry, avoid anyway, just because I feel like
Cool.
it.
Let's do it.
The 3 names I've got written down are Claire Baldwin, Oumar Niasse, or Tony Hibbert. Split them up. I think
3
Tony
beautiful people.
Hibbert will make a solid husband, I think.
yeah, I think... Yeah, he's got breadwinner written all over him, Tony Hibbert. He's a good fisherman as well, Tony Hibbert. Google it. He's got carps everywhere.
Was he on the front cover of that fishing magazine?
He was, yeah, he
Seen that,
was.
yeah.
He's got a bit of pedigree when it comes to fishing, so he'd be getting the tea in from the river. I'd probably have to avoid Oumar Niasse.
He could do some damage to you.
Yeah, he's just got such a bad sense of direction, I wouldn't trust him round the house. You know what I mean? And then obviously there's Claire Baldwin, who'd have to take on for the team.
So you're marrying Tony Hibbert, is that right?
Yeah, Hibbert all day, yeah. Be a big, beautiful wedding as well. Get the cathedral rented out and everything for it.
I'd love to get an invite.
Lucky Claire.
You'll all be invited, guys. All.
Right, and let's get to know you a bit more and about what you do. Introduce yourself and tell us kind of...
Well, my name's Ant. I'm from Liverpool, as you can probably tell. I support Everton, unfortunately, and I'm a stand-up comedian. Yes, yeah, fair enough. I do stand-up comedy as well.
That's it.
Very, keeping my lips tightly sealed.
So when did you kind of first get into comedy and kind of know you were funny, or have you still not worked it out yet?
No, I think that's the thing, the jury's still out on that one, to be honest. But when I first started making people laugh was when I was in school. I was like a class clown in school, always getting sent out, always taking the mick. And then it was on Twitter actually how I got into stand-up, because I do a tweet occasionally, and a comedian followed me and said you should give stand-up a go sometime, and I'd always wanted to do it because I always enjoyed watching it. And yeah, give it a go, and that was that about 2 years ago, and it's been going pretty well.
What was your first gig? What was that like, or how did you go from getting that tweet to signing up to do a stand-up gig, and how did you feel?
Oh, it was terrifying, to be honest. It really was. But like about 80% of the crowd were all my mates, so it wasn't too bad. The gig after it was probably worse when they all didn't decide to show up.
You know they're going to laugh either way, aren't
That's
they?
it, yeah, that's it. But it was, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the buzz of being up there, and I still do. It's great.
Have you got any kind of comedy idols that you try and replicate, or just love in general?
Well, I think my main stand-up comic who I admire is probably Kevin Bridges. I think he's absolutely brilliant. He's great. Seen him last month in London, and seen him in Liverpool as well next month, in December. I like all the old sort of style American comedians like Richard Pryor, Mitch Hedberg, who's a little bit later in the 90s, but then I also like Jack D, a big favourite of mine, and Peter Kay as well.
He's got to be the GOAT, hasn't he?
He's right up there. Love him.
What's your opinion on Michael McIntyre?
Well, quite a few people ask me this, I'm not sure why, but...
He's very divisive, actually.
Yeah.
I personally can't stand him.
Well, when I was about 17, I actually went to see him in Liverpool before he was like a really sort of big. He's done like the Philharmonic Hall in Liverpool, that was about 3,000 people, and he was fantastic, to be honest. Right, okay. But now, I wouldn't put him in my top.
Yeah.
I think he was very good when he was. I think now he
exploded
recycles
for a bit,
the
and
same
then,
jokes every show. I've been to see him a couple of times, and he's definitely better the first time you see him. I think you get that same.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
It's fine. It's fine, JP. Right, let's get on to heckles, which is, for some people, the best part of live comedy. Have you got a best heckle that you remember?
If I'm completely honest, I've never really been that badly heckled. I've seen people get quite badly heckled, but it can depend really. If someone's sort of struggling, the crowd will pick up on it. And thankfully, touch wood, I don't really struggle that much. But
Who do you think deals with heckles the best?
There's a few contenders.
I think
Jimmy
Carr.
Carr,
he's
ruthless,
Carr,
isn't he?
I think he sort of invites them on as well, doesn't he? But
Frankie Boyle's another one, isn't he?
Frankie Boyle, he's ruthless.
There are some comedians you just wouldn't dare heckle at all.
Yeah. I definitely wouldn't heckle them too.
No.
It's like a cricket sledging. What's the best cricket sledge you've heard, Pete?
Oh God, there was one from. They had some really bad ones in the Ashes. I can't remember it exactly, but it nearly caused a fight. It was Freddie Flintoff giving it large, which nobody is surprised about. And then I can't remember the exact.
Was it the famous one? It was like, "Why are you so fat?" And it was like, "Because every time I shagged your mum, she gave me a biscuit."
Something like that. Yeah,
That's like the best. That's the best sledge I've heard.
That's your best joke as well. And let's move on to one of your best jokes, right? I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but you've come here as a comedian,
we are putting you on the spot.
Fully on the spot.
Have you got a joke that kind of you love, or there's a good story behind?
There's a few, to be honest. I think I've started doing one recently, which I quite like, where I talk about recently turning 27 and having a bit of a meltdown and comparing myself to other 27-year-olds. Like...
That was 2 years ago.
It's like comparing myself to other 27-year-olds, like Mike Tyson, and then I say, because me and Mike are very similar. So when Mike Tyson was 27, he'd won, lost, and regained the world heavyweight title. He'd knocked out 30 men. He'd earned $60 million in prize fighting money. He had a pet tiger, and he spent a night in a cell for cocaine possession. So as it stands, I've only got one of the things on that list. Then I sort of give it a break and then they made me take the tiger back. Quite like that one.
Very good. Let's move on to your love for Everton. Where did that first start, and how did you first get into football?
I blame my dad for that one, to be honest. I was raised as an Evertonian because my dad's a massive Everton fan, but he actually seen us win things, so he's not as full of hatred as I am, I think. But yeah, I had a season ticket for about 4 years at Everton, and then once I started doing the comedy, there's a lot of gigs on like Fridays, staying away in other cities, and on Saturdays you can't really get to the game. But yeah, my first game I ever went to was against Bolton, 1998 it was, and Duncan Ferguson scored a hat-trick.
Big dunk.
And he was like one of my childhood heroes, Big Dunk.
Do you know only 2 Premier League players have scored a hat-trick of headers? One of them's Duncan Ferguson, and one of them's Salomon Rondon.
Rafa Rondon, get a goal.
Yeah, mate. Right, let's move on to your love/obsession with Oumar Niasse. How did that start, and why?
It's a long tale, I think. When we first bought, I think Roberto Martinez bought him, and he just seemed to appear out of nowhere. Like, there was no talk of us buying a striker, especially not buying him. And then just out of nowhere, we just bought him for like £12 million, and nobody had any. There was no like video clips or anything of him anywhere. And then there was like this sort of legend that built up in training, because a lot of players, Lukaku said to him, or Lukaku said about him rather, that he just didn't look like a football player. He was like,
talk.
That was when he was in shape, wasn't it?
And and then it went from there, and he made an explosive debut where I think he was on the pitch for about 17 minutes and done nothing. And then there was like some incident with his locker. His locker got given away by accident.
Yeah, he got sent to the reserves, didn't he?
Like Koeman.
Yeah.
Like Koeman, yeah. But then he come back into the team and scored like 2 goals. I can't remember who it was against, but we won the game 2-1. And then he just went into like this instant
folklore,
cult, this cult status, and then I love him. He's great. He'll come on, he'll do something outrageous, and then the next game he'll score. I just can't get my head around him.
I love that idea of cult heroes.
Yeah.
JP, do you have like a cult Man United player?
I have a cool old Wigan player.
Oh.
Yes. No, it's
That's
just,
cult.
Go on,
niche, niche.
No, it's,
Is it Colin Little?
No, it's at the moment it's Jordan Hume. Like, everyone at the club loves him. You know who he is. He's a character.
Nobody
and
knows.
everyone just waits. Honestly, he's a lad. I love going to go and watch him because he really just puts his heart on his sleeve. And that's didn't expect that one, did you?
Simon, who's your cult hero?
Oh,
Got to be Dion
Mustafa
Dublin.
Hadji.
Who's awful?
What a player. Dion
Awful
Dublin,
cult hero
Darren
to have.
Huckabee, any of them. Yeah, take your pick. Right, let's finish off this Everton chat with, what do you think of their season so far, and kind of...
I think it's been quite mixed up to now. I think there's been like strange games where we've like drew at home to Huddersfield, and then some games where we've looked excellent. So it's been up and down.
Where do you think you're going to finish?
Hopefully in the top half, maybe, but it's hard to predict with Everton. I'm going to say 9th.
Who do you think your manager's going to be next year when Marco Silva decides he wants to go somewhere bigger?
Well,
A bitter Watford fan.
See Charlie's eyes.
I could feel the venom just on the side of my face. Well, that's the worry with Silva, because of what he's done with you guys to come to us. It's like, well, I don't know, I think he'll stay in us for at least another year or so. As long as Allardyce doesn't come back, then I'm absolutely fine, to be honest.
Nothing wrong with Big Sam.
No, not really, no. It was, I mean, even though we finished 7th in the league, it was just like
Boring.
it was just, it was so stagnant, and it was like, I don't know. And he was just very, sort of, when he talked about the club, he was just dismissive, I think, so, yeah.
Right, let's wrap up your little chat with your best ever tweet. You mentioned that you started your comedy works with a tweet.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of went off from there. I sort of gained a bit of a following on Twitter, and then I went into the stand-up, but I still obviously like to tweet. There's quite a few contenders for my favourite tweet that I've got. Probably one that's aimed at Katie Hopkins, I think. It was,
More decent.
Right, tweet already.
Because But what she tends to do is she tends to delete the tweet, so you'll quote them, say your thing, and then they'll delete it, so they've got like a sort of expired shelf life. But I remember she said once about the new iPhone coming out, and there was like a facial recognition tool on it, and then she posted like a picture of these women in burqas, and I was like borderline racist, saying, I wonder how these guys are going to unlock their phone. Must be a bit of a nightmare for them. So I tweeted her back and said, but it'll be a nightmare for you when Rod Stewart can unlock yours.
What a shout! That
Great show.
Right, Charlie, I think you've got the results of the Manchester referendum that we've been running on the Sportsman.com. We've had thousands and thousands of votes on this, and now it's time to find out whether the public voted for Jose Mourinho to remain or leave
well done.
Manchester United. I got it right. Charlie.
The votes are in. Over 50,000 people voted, and my screen's just gone off, but it is 55% Mourinho to remain.
Ooh!
They want him in.
It's a good result. That's what we want.
Is it a clap? And if you drill down, you can look, Man United fans, 53% of them want him to remain. And when you look at other fans, 60% want him to remain. So I don't know how many times you voted, Pete.
I genuinely voted about 30 times.
But
Every time it was remain.
it was a really interesting campaign. Got a really honest view of what people sort of thought. It was real mixed, wasn't it, JP? Especially when we were down at Old Trafford. You had the die-hard fans who didn't want to be a sacking club, and they were like, no, we're sticking with the manager. And then you had the sort of new breed of fans, the social
Twitter
influencers, and they all wanted him out.
But there was also the people who made sort of balanced in the middle, who made the good point of why they wanted him to. They didn't want to be a sacking club, but also made the point of why they think Mourinho should have left. Like the compromise that they made when they got Mourinho in.
Yeah, for me it's a strange one because he's asking what are the reasons, and one of the big reasons were because who else would we get? And I thought that's a bit of a poor reason.
Mourinho is like
Shite.
If you say he's one of the top managers,
A wanker.
it's like,
if you say he's one of the top managers in world football, are you lying?
well, I'm not. It's Trevor Campbell that speaks for itself.
Oh God! A classic United fan talking about history. Like he's past it. He's past his sell-by date. He can't do anything with the big club anymore.
There to be respected. Sorry, he's not here today, so I'm taking over. But for me, Mourinho, he still has he is a charismatic personality, and he can show this passion. I just think there's a lot of things at the moment that are going very wrong. But
My thing with that is that he shows his passion by throwing his players under the bus half the time during the season. Like, I think he's just an arrogant bloke.
No, but
He's
he's not doing the hugging thing that Klopp does every week. You don't have to be that guy.
Yeah, but all right. Yeah, but look at where they are in the table. Look at where United are only. I mean, I want him to stay. I want him to stay because I personally think United are only going to get worse if he stays, and it's great for me to watch.
And a word on Manchester United and Jose Mourinho. If you can interrupt these two bickering.
I mean, as Charlie said, if he does leave, who's going to, like, who would replace
Marco
him?
Silva?
Yeah, he'd love that one.
Allardyce.
The only one that
He'd do a better job.
Diego Simeone, I would like to see that.
But again, we plays defensive football though.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, but he has done a lot with relatively less expenditure than Real Madrid and Barcelona to keep them competing. And actually, I really like the way he has organised that squad.
What is wrong with Zidane? Why do not man?
One of the
Three Champions Leagues in a row.
Yeah.
The best manager in
One
recent
thing that's
years.
levelled at him is how far Barcelona finished ahead of Real Madrid last season.
Yeah.
I know he has won the Liga in 2017, but I want to see a little bit more from Zidane. He does great in the Champions League, and he obviously gets the players under his banner.
I think the egos in the dressing room, that's what Zidane had to deal with, and he'd do the same at Man United.
The one thing that was pointed out is the partnerships of Manchester United. There's relatively few partnerships which you can say work on.
Chris Smalling and Phil Jones.
Well, Chris Smalling and
Phil Jones.
The only one that people are hoping is Pogba and Martial, which showed signs against Everton the other day. For me, I'm going to. I don't want to be a second club. I'm definitely sticking with Mourinho at least until the end of the season, and see what happens.
Very good. Right, Pete, you touched on Man City Spurs on Monday night before. Are Man City going to go unbeaten? Have they already won the league?
No, because we're on the same amount of points as Liverpool.
Very grounded.
And Chelsea.
No, Chelsea
less
are 2
points.
points. Chelsea are 2 points behind us.
All unbeaten then?
Yeah, I think it's obviously to go unbeaten is such a difficult thing. I think the good thing about our start is that we're 10 games in. We've already played Arsenal, Liverpool, and Spurs away from home. Got 7 points. Yeah, we should have won at Liverpool. We didn't concede any of them. So people always say with Guardiola, they said with us like the defence is shaky, but it's proven that it's not. We've conceded 3 goals so far this season. So it's a possibility, but you never know with City. We're always going to be typical City in some way. We'll do something to fuck it up.
Which team is most likely to be? Because I think you're going to do well against the Liverpools and the Chelseas. I think there's a clear top 3, but I think you might lose to a Watford or someone.
That's what I mean. No, that is what I mean though. Like, we could lose to a little club like United.
We have.
Yeah, we have. Like I said, there will. I don't think we'll do it, but we could. You never know. Like the squad is obviously, I think it's probably the best squad in Europe. So it also depends on does he really want to go for the Champions League and how far do we go in other competitions. But
where do you sit on that, the Champions League? Because a lot of City fans, and I've spoken to you before, are sort of like Champions League, Premier League is always a priority. But for me, the club, like Champions League is what they want to go for. That's the one thing they've never got. Their owners like Champions League, but why do the fans not care about Champions League? No one turns up in midweek. They boo the anthem.
Because UEFA are pricks. They've always fucked us over. You look when we joined the competition, like when we first got into the Champions League, we got the financial fair play. We got a £50 million fine. PSG did worse than us, like spent more or whatever, and got a £13 million fine. And they cut our squad down by 4 players. The stuff like that. The stuff where we played CSKA Moscow. Our fans bought tickets away, and then they put it behind closed doors. Didn't refund them, and then they let some Moscow fans in. You know, it's stuff like that. It doesn't help that David Gill's at the top of UEFA. Fucking prick. So it's one of them. Like I would rather win the Premier League every season than go for the Champions League.
That's exactly what City should go for. Before they even start talking about the Champions League, it's winning back-to-back Premier League.
Yeah,
I would. If I had a choice every season, Premier League or Champions League, it would be Premier League.
The best teams do both.
Just on the Premier League.
I'm not going to do either.
What would the city of Liverpool be like if Liverpool won the Premier League?
Oh, it'd be unbearable, I think. Absolutely unbearable. I said, just go and live in the league. Just 6 days. Good couple of years. But yeah, sort of got a taste of what it would have been like on Champions League final day. All City was just absolutely paid in the dead. And obviously, even though they're the rivals, they do have really good support. So we can't knock them for that. But I hope to God they don't win it, because
I think I'd quit social media.
Yeah, I think I would as well.
Who do you think will win the Premier League this season?
I mean, I think it's a toss-up between any of those 3.
Yeah, there's a definite top 3, then a middle 2, and then Man United in the.
Well, no, it's Watford, then Bournemouth, and then United down in 8th.
We're playing Bournemouth this weekend, so
They're going to back to you.
Big battle for a Europa League spot.
Anyway, and Liverpool, Chelsea, or Man City then, I think.
To take a shot in the dark, out of those 3, I'll probably say Man City.
I knew you weren't going to say Liverpool. Right, if we saw this weekend, Blackburn Rovers midfielder Richie Smallwood had a little going goal at the last 15 minutes of their 1-1 draw. He didn't concede a goal. He did very well. And this got us thinking on other outfield players that have had a going goal.
I've got a stat on this as well.
Oh,
he has got as many clean sheets this season as David De Gea.
Oh, what a phenomenal start.
JP?
yeah, he's right.
Do you remember when Harry Kane went in goal in that Europa League game? Yeah, he put his gloves on and then conceded a goal.
Straight away.
Straight through his legs. Who else has been in?
Ferdinand, John O'Shea,
John
Terry, yeah, he had a go.
You seen it at Goodison Park? Any outfield players had a go?
I can't think off the top of my head. I don't know Phil Jagielka did when he was at Sheffield United.
He was all right.
Yeah, he was actually, it's better
good
than half
one.
the keepers we've had, to be honest.
A good one from us. This was true City back in the day. I think it was about 2004-05. Stuart Pearce in charge. We need a winner.
Yeah.
We've got a striker on the bench. What does he do? Sends Nicky Weaver on to go in goal and puts David James up front. Like,
What did he do?
He was a great talent.
genuinely, he had a shot that, like, he was putting himself about because he's a big fucker, isn't he? Like, and I think he had a shot on a turn that he went for, and it must have gone about 20 yards wide of the goal. And it's just that's Stuart Pearce's managerial career. Like, we've got a striker on the bench.
There's something-
Do you not pine for those glory days back there?
That was when he
Honestly,
was
it was
City were respected.
it was
Proper
When
club.
David James was playing up front.
it
How
was
things have sank.
it was fun, but I much prefer now going to every game not thinking, oh yeah, you know what, I'll take a point today against fucking Portsmouth or something.
Portsmouth or class.
Yeah, no, do you know, like, I hate, it was fun. I think it would have been funner if I was this age now, in those days, because I can go out drinking and enjoy it more. I was like 7 or 8, but no, I prefer not losing.
There's something poetic about seeing either an outfield player going in goal and flapping about at things, or seeing David
Jordan
James-
Pickford up for a corner last minute. Yeah. Goalkeepers scoring is something we want to see more of. Right, Usain Bolt's attempting to make it a career in football. He's doing okay, not amazing. Andy Keogh has said that he's got a touch of a trampoline.
A touch of a Lukaku.
Touch of a Lukaku, yeah.
Paraphrased.
I was just about to ask, has he got the worst touch in football, Pete? But I think you've answered that.
I mean, Usain Bolt, like, obviously everybody wants to try and make it. If you've watched him play football, it's like fucking Bambi on ice. Like, the guy, he don't know what he's doing. He's just fast as fuck, isn't he? So
It is a joke. Damien Lewis had him in his pocket on Soccer Aid. Like, how is he trying to be? How is he trying to make it as a professional footballer?
Damien Lewis
Sticks
is
are running fast, and that's it.
Would you have him at Everton?
He's probably better than the ass.
A man who's getting a lot of attention on the show. Right, there was also a boxing match this weekend where we saw an incredible scene of the boxer losing the plot, and he attacks his own trainer after the fight. Did we all see this?
Yes,
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, do go on the Sportsman, because it is there somewhere in the thousands of articles. Just a shameless plug. Shameless plug.
Smooth. That was
we go.
really smooth. And you're into your boxing, aren't you?
I am, yeah, do enjoy the boxing. I wasn't sure who that guy was though. I think it was that sort of low down, the undercard.
He's making a name for himself in another way. I
Yeah, he
think.
certainly is, yeah. I think that probably explains why he was so far down the card if he's punching shit
Are there
out of
any
the trainer, but
big fights you're looking forward to for the rest of the year?
it's yet. Bellew. Yeah. There's Bellew coming up.
Are you a big fan of Bellew? You've been Everton.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a scouser, isn't he? He's an Evertonian. He won as well title at Goodison as well.
We had that with Ricky Hatton. The City
Yeah,
fans, we
yeah,
used to
it was
absolutely
brilliant.
adore him back in the
on
day.
his crew. I saw Tony Bellew at Blackburn Pleasure Beach a few months ago. He went on the shittiest ride.
What, like you?
Yeah, I was kidding.
Were you on the ghost train?
More pathetic than that. Like, Bellew, you know?
Has he got any chance of winning this fight?
No.
I mean, I don't think he does now, but I said the same when he fought David A. And I know the first fight, David A's
Achilles went, didn't it?
Achilles
Yeah.
went, didn't it? But then in the second one, I still
battered
thought David A was going to win that. So you can never write him off, but
I think
he's like the best.
yeah,
isn't he? He's number one
It's
in the division.
fair play to Bellew, obviously. It seems that every fight he goes for it. You know, I don't know whether it's him backing himself or he's like, nobody else is going to do it, then
Yeah,
I'll have a go. But I
possibly,
think seems to be a thing in boxing and MMA, like Ukrainians and the Russians at the minute just seem to be on a completely different level.
Will this be Bellew's last fight, do you think?
Yeah, big payday, I think.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But I thought that about the second David A fight as well. So, I mean, and if he wins, and he probably won't win, but if he did win, it could be massive fights further down the line. But I think he's like sort of in his mid-30s now.
Are they fighting at heavyweight or cruiserweight?
It's a cruiserweight, yeah. But I think Usyk's got all 4 titles at cruiserweight, hasn't he?
he's
So
just undisputed.
I think his style as well, he's made for Bellew, I think. But as I say, I'll be supporting him. I certainly won't be lining him off, but if just put money on it, I'll put it on Usyk.
Who wins, Fury, Wilder?
I think...
Good. You big
I reckon...
Don't like a bodybuilder.
I think Fury.
Yes.
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
God, that's Tyson. Get him on the show.
I think Wilder.
We've already got him on the show.
I'd be too scared to do an impression of him.
I love Fury, I think he's great. But I think Wilder, like, technically, he just seems a bit all over the place, his footwork, his sort of
Wingmills.
style.
He
And
fights
Fury's
like
just
he's
made
fighting
to-
on the street. It's almost,
Yeah,
like a
he
fight's
does,
broken out.
yeah.
Just go
And I
in.
wouldn't like to fight him on the streets,
God, no.
and I wouldn't like to see him fighting any mascots anytime soon again. But
Right, that's enough of the top trends. Let's move on to our predictions league. And Pete, good news for you. You're back on top after predicting that
Batman
Manchester
Avalon.
City would beat Spurs.
It was never in doubt.
It was never in
I
there.
predicted you would be back on top as well.
I did, yeah.
Maybe bonus point.
I also predicted that Man City would beat Spurs, but won't too
Well,
many
nobody
times.
cares about you, so.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Harris is rooted to the bottom still. I
That's
know
all
that
that
for
matters.
sure.
That's
all
all
that
that
matters.
matters.
This week we're focusing on another big Premier League game as the unbeaten Liverpool take on Arsenal. JP,
Yeah.
what do we reckon to this game?
I really like watching Arsenal this season, but before I get into that, I have been impressed by Unai Emery. I didn't think he was going to do great after coming from PSG, but he's got them ticking. I don't think they'll compete for the Premier League title, and I don't think they'll get a result against Liverpool. But I just wanted to give him a shout out.
Ah,
Do you know him?
Answer this.
Uncle Unai.
No, it's a good team. Like honestly, Aubameyang and Lacazette doing bits, and it's nice to see.
Can I have a score prediction?
I'm going to go, let's say, 3-1 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool, right. Perfect. Pete at the top of the leaderboard.
I mean, Arsenal-Liverpool seem to be really entertaining games. In the last
4-4 with Arshavin.
there was-
What a game that
There
was.
was one at the start of, I think it was 2 years ago, where it was like 4-2 or 4-3 to Liverpool. So it's guaranteed goals. I think Arsenal's defence is very questionable, but then...
Playing Zaka,
Yeah, but then going forward, they see, especially in the second half, that they just seem to become good all of a sudden. So I'm going to go for the Desmond 2-2.
And what do we reckon to this one?
yeah, I think Liverpool will have too much, but Arsenal have looked really good as well recently. But I'll probably go for 3-1 as well. To be honest, I fancy Liverpool to score a few. Yeah.
Charlie?
As the Liverpool fan,
I'm going to
No
go
bias here.
2-0 Liverpool. Van Dijk to keep a clean sheet and Alisson to continue impressing at the back.
Simon.
4-0 Liverpool.
Whoa, that's not.
You are crazy.
Arsenal always have these shaky games, or they did under Arsene Wenger anyway, where they go somewhere and just completely shit themselves. Remember when they were like 6-0 down at Chelsea? I reckon something similar happened. I mean, their defence isn't that great, and I think Liverpool will just smash them, and everyone will be like, they're going to win the league, and they won't win the league. But I think they'll win this game pretty convincingly. Right, Pete,
Yes.
it's time for your little section.
Yes, roll the jingle. It's Pete's tweet of the week. It's obviously Cristiano Ronaldo has absolutely turned it on since he's not, but that's another story. He's not better than Messi, but since going to Juve, he's obviously tearing it up. And a fun fact: this was producer Charlie's tweet. Well done, good work there. Cristiano Ronaldo has now scored 189 goals club goals since he turned 30,
What a machine.
which is 11 more than Alexis Sanchez has scored in his entire club career. Yeah, it's just
He's only on loan.
he's only on loan. Yeah, he will return one day. Like he won't, but yeah, he's an incredible player, incredible athlete. So fair play to him. He's kept himself in shape since he's turned 30.
Great
And
tweet, great. How much did Charlie pay you to have that as your tweet of the week?
just lemonades, endless
Lemonade,
lemonades,
endless lemonades.
Yeah.
About 2,000 retweets on that one, but
Just 2,000. Just a cool 2K.
and what's your top retweets saying? Best tweet?
I've had a few that I've done like over sort of 30,000.
Look, get back
Made
down.
you look a mug.
Do you want a 9-to-5 job? Any that stand out like?
Well, there was the Katie Hopkins one from earlier. I can't even really think off the top of my head. I think there was one about like it was like the way like an American news company had put this headline up saying a toddler has now killed someone once every 2 weeks in America. So I commented on it saying I think someone should find them.
terrible.
Terrorist toddler.
What do we make of Ronaldo at Juventus then? Do you think he's going to smash it? And do you think that's part of Real Madrid's problems at the moment? Anyone want to start on that one?
I'll go with that one. Part of Real Madrid's problems, yeah. I don't think it's the whole problem.
Did you see Lopetegui's dad came out and was like, Lopetegui's only been rubbish because Real Madrid sold Ronaldo and something? I felt a bit sorry for him. He was sending his dad out to fight for him.
I think, the thing is with Real Madrid, I think they got quite lucky with the Champions League last season, how they got there and everything. I think it's just one of them, like, the team has come to its end. You know, there's a lot of players that are over 30 sort of losing it. I think it's just one of them cycles where an amazing team's just come to an end. Obviously, it doesn't help not having Ronaldo, but
I agree.
It's not like he's, pulling the strings or anything. He just pops up with a goal, doesn't he?
There were things like the other day in El Clasico as well, where players such as Ramos and Varane, who we were praising in the World Cup, Varane had an appallingly bad El Clasico. At one point, he tried to clear off the line and he was behind the goal line. It's like, well, you're not going to clear it from there. It was just an absolute shambles. But I think Pete's right. This is a squad which just about got the Champions League with a fantastic 90-minute performance against Liverpool. But they weren't the best team in Europe last season.
No.
And it's showing through.
Who were? Man City weren't they?
Probably Man City or Juve.
Yeah, very good.
One of those two.
This is quite a good link we've done here, JP. Talking a bit about El Clasico, we're going to move on to JP's European Roundup. So take us on a tour.
You don't get a jingle though, so have someone else.
You're like Brendan on coach trip. Take us on a European adventure.
Everyone close your eyes.
Here we go, ready. There we go. To the first. Let's stop.
Just a quick tour. I'm going to briefly go around, but first of all, go to France, which I always do because I'm a pretentious liar. We'll go to the Classique, which was Marseille versus PSG. And this was a weekend of fantastic cameos. We had Kylian Mbappe being left out of the starting 11 because he was late with Adrien Rabiot, aka apparently my idol.
Similar.
And he comes on and does absolute bits. 62 minutes he comes on and scores within 3 minutes later. Mbappe is the most exciting player in the world at the moment. And also in Lyon versus Angers.
Angers.
Just steamed that pronunciation.
I'm going for the Beauty and the Beast sequel. That's what I'm going for. And Mbappe.
I'm just on the show. Just JP's hour. Sorry.
It's all right.
Anything can happen on this.
Was that an actual phone call?
I thought that was some sort of terrible joke.
It was a phone call.
That's too loud.
Just getting the realness. Go on, JP. Carry on.
You're on about Angers.
Angers.
So Angers versus Lyon.
Angers.
0-0. Depay left on the bus. Well, he got left out of the starting 11.
Left him on the bus, not
he
even on the
stayed
bench.
On the bus, and he didn't even warm up. He sat on the match ball.
He's a
dickhead.
He's a bit of a diva. He's a moody diva. That's why he should play for Eintracht Frankfurt, which are their nicknames, as I found out.
He's someone.
And
that's what Wikipedia does for you.
He comes on, creates an assist, and gets the winner as well.
Depay.
Depay, yeah. To get three points for Lyon. Then we had the Classica in the Eredivisie between Ajax and Feyenoord.
What a game that was.
Feyenoord got a player sent off after 5 minutes, so the referee had to show a yellow card and a red in the space of 5 minutes. Ajax ran out 3-0 winners.
Go on, the Ajax.
And they're still only second because PSG Eindhoven are...
PSV
Eindhoven. PSV Eindhoven have won all 10 games so far.
Is Robin van Persie still at Feyenoord?
He's retiring at the end of the season.
Yeah, no, he's at...
No, isn't he in...
Some extensive research on this show.
He's at Feyenoord.
I think he's at
He's definitely at Feyenoord. He's at Feyenoord! He doesn't know shit!
Alright.
Any more for any more around Europe? Or is that it?
Yeah. Good notes here.
More notes than I'm Frank. Got it in.
Leverkusen beat Werder Bremen 6-2. And in Turkey, Fenerbahce are 15th in the Super League as well.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Robin Van Persie's former club.
The Man United.
Robert,
the Super League.
Robert Van Persie's current club, right? According to me.
It's just
yes.
wrong.
And I need to give a shout out because when I was on last time, you did the quiz, which was better, which was my favourite team, was it Belenenses or Boavista? And Belenenses won 2-0 against Benfica. Well done, Belenenses.
Oh, well done the Bello boys.
Shout out. Well done, JP. God, we got through that, didn't we?
That was my roundup.
Any more, or are you done? Are you done?
I'm done, yeah.
Okay, because there's a reason we don't have you on the show that often. Right, let's finish off with the perfect 10. And you're back in the spotlight. We've got a leaderboard. I'm not even sure who's top of it at the moment. Is it? It's not Razor, is it?
No,
someone's
Razor.
top of our perfect 10 leaderboard.
The leaderboard.
You're not a
No,
special.
to be fair, Ryan.
Last week and
Yeah.
Ryan from the club.
So Ryan from the club and George Weir's cousin,
Yeah.
aka Luke Royal, have now got 6 out of 10 and top the leaderboard.
Very good, Charlie. That's knowledge. That's why we've got you on the show.
That's why he's the producer.
That is why. The knowledge, the stats, and let's see if you can get better than 6 out of 10.
Give it a go.
Of course, if you enter this online, you can win £10,000 if you do get the perfect 10. The first fixture today is Newcastle v Watford. The Watford fans that are next year. Newcastle yet to win this season, I believe.
Yeah, Newcastle been poor, haven't they? I'm going to go for a draw for that one.
On the fence. Next up is Blackburn v Qpr. Let's hope Blackburn have a real keeper in goal this week.
Hopefully so. I'm going to go for Blackburn for that one.
Forest v Sheffield United, also in the Championship. Sheffield United still top, I think.
Yeah, they've been playing well. I'll go for Sheffield United on that one.
Reading v Bristol City.
Stinky.
I don't know much about either, so I'm just...
Reading are shy.
Yeah. I'm going to go for Reading. I'm going to go against the grain.
Oh, shock. You need a shock in there, that's for sure. Sheffield Wednesday v Norwich.
Go for Sheffield.
Interesting. AFC Wimbledon v Shrewsbury. Into League One.
Let's go for Wimbledon.
A lot of home wins here, I like it. Gillingham v Fleetwood. Joey Barton's Fleetwood.
Everton fan, Joey Barton.
He is.
Is he?
He is. He also showed his arse to us as well, though, once when he played for City. With the stats, full of stats today. I'm going to go for the draw for that one.
Scunthorpe v Oxford.
Let's go Scunthorpe.
Walsall v Burton.
I go for Burton for that one.
And finally, the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday, Arsenal v Liverpool. So if you get 9 out of 9 right, you're sweating on this one.
Yeah, definitely. Go for Liverpool.
Go for Liverpool
one,
again, yeah. I think Liverpool are a good shout there. So now it's time to give away this Everton shirt. If we could reveal who their number 19 is this season.
It is, of course, Oumar Niasse.
Oumar Niasse, right, if you commented Oumar Niasse in the comments down below, you're in with a chance of winning this Everton shirt. We'll give that away at some point. And that's it for this week's show, guys. So thanks for joining me, JP. Charlie, excellent debut. You didn't do a Jonathan Woodgate, you all right?
Thank you, man.
Solid 6 out of 10. And we'll see everyone next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe below and ding that notification bell to get our latest uploads into your inbox.